What's up, guys? My name is Andrew Kearney, CEO of BowlCentral. I'm here doing an interview with youth bowler Drake Durflinger. So, Drake, why don't you tell us about how you got into bowling and kind of walk us up to where you are now?
So I started bowling pretty much because my dad got into it. He bowled as a kid. Then my dad and my mom, at spare time in Pflugerville, they started a league, and I started bowling after that, just with like a cheap donation ball. I think it was like a slingshot or something like that. Then I started bowling leagues, and I got into bowling here at Highland, and then from there I just kind of rocked with it.
All right.
About the time the Idol came out, I think that was my first like performance ball. That and like the Deviate Turmoil.
So you went from a donation bowling ball and just getting into it with your parents to now you're going to bowl team trials in a month, upcoming in Vegas, to try and qualify for Team USA.
For sure.
Why don't you talk to us about how you're feeling? Do you feel prepared? Are you nervous? What's going through your head?
I don't want to say I'm nervous. I feel prepared. I feel like I've been bowling probably the best I have in a while. Confidence-wise, feel-wise, just able to, I don't know, I just feel confident in my game. Where in the past, even if I was bowling better than I am right now, it didn't matter because I had no confidence. So I feel like that helps a lot. And just being able to listen to my ball motion, listen to just how I'm feeling, and get response from that and make adjustments. That's big.
Having spent a lot of time with you in the last 2 years, I can say your mental game has gone strides above where it was when we first met. How big do you feel of a piece that is for you to your success in the most recent tournaments and just how you're feeling in general?
I mean, I think mental is probably 75-80% of bowling, right? So if you're not mentally prepared for what you're doing and mentally prepared for the task that you're going to do, it's massive. I mean, if you throw bad shots and that's all you can think about for the next game, then what are you going to do? It's like bowling in like the 80s and 90s. It didn't really matter about your game. It mattered more about the longevity of your mental game, and I still think that applies now.
Let's talk about the mental game for a second. So I agree with you that the mental game is a key piece in the sport, whether it's 75, 80, 85%. It's up for debate, but it's obviously the majority. Everyone has the ability to throw a strike. The difference that separates professional bowlers from amateur bowlers is the distance and the time between their bad shots and how often they can throw good shots and stay composed under pressure. So who do you think on tour has one of the best mental games that you watch?
Oh, man. I think that's a hard one. I mean, it's got to be most of the people that you see winning, right? Okay. Everyone on tour, those top 200 people on tour, the only thing that really, they all throw the ball pretty well. 95% of them are throwing it great. The difference is their mental game. So it's the people that you see winning on TV
so
each
it's your
weekend.
Belmos and your EJ Tackett's.
It's the people that are making it to those top 5 TV shows. I think are the ones that are. I mean, obviously there's skill there, right? But I think it's more so mental game skill as well. Like that's a big part.
Do you think it's harder to win now than it was 10 years ago? You think the talent in the youth bowlers that we have bowling professional competitions like Spencer Robarge and all of these people is so high physically that it makes it extremely more difficult to win now than it used to be?
I think you'd have to ask somebody that was bowling 10 years ago, so I have no idea.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I have no clue. I would say I think it's always changing. The game's always changing, but I couldn't tell you.
And you're working in a pro shop now. You're drilling bowling balls. How has that changed your perspective on the game?
I think it changes how I interpret just bowling in general. The people that are coming into the shop, the people that are in your leagues, the people that are bowling like 5 nights a week, the people that are supporting youth programs, and people that are supporting just the TV shows, making bowling happen. It's cool to see. It's the people that really care. Even if you're not the top average in the building. I think those are the people that are having the most fun. It's the people that are just throwing the ball down the lane. And I feel like that can apply to bowling in general. I feel like when you bowl a tournament, if you're just having fun and you're throwing the ball down the lane, obviously you still have to be there mentally, but if you're just having fun, that'll go a long way.
Speaking of having fun,
Yeah.
why don't you talk to us about the Best of Texas youth tournament that you bowled this past year, where I heard there were some issues with the lanes and some exaggerated transition there.
I mean, honestly, lane issue wasn't a big deal. The big thing about that tournament is that they don't re-oil the whole time, right? I think there's 3 or 4 games of qualifying, and then you bowl match play on the burn. So it's really who can get left and stay left, who can loft the gutter. It was me and you in finals, or you and I, whatever. We were in finals, and I think I was sliding 60 or 55.
Yep.
You were left where I was.
Yep.
I couldn't get far enough left. So that was a big learning moment. It was cool to see.
And the center hooks a lot in general.
The center does hook a lot. I feel like on house shot I'm already all the way up against the gutter, and it was big.
I think I ended about 62, lofting a high road pearl to the arrows.
Yeah, I was lofting a hustle wind to the arrows. So
yeah,
that was a big learning moment. And honestly, I mean, I got second. It was the most fun I've ever had at a tournament. I don't know. I think that's a big part again. Success comes with having fun.
All right.
Yeah.
I think all of us that got into the game got into it because we love it.
Yeah.
We got into it because it was fun, and at some point, sometimes it becomes more work than it is fun, and that's when you have to, balance priorities and figure out how to get your head back to what your goal is and why you started in the first place.
For sure.
What is the biggest obstacle, do you think, you've overcome in the last year or so as you've gone through growth of not only being a teenager and growing physically and mentally, but also growing in your game?
I would say the biggest challenge is probably outside of bowling, managing your schoolwork, and I mean, you can attest to this, right? Yeah. Managing schoolwork and managing things besides bowling, whether it be your job and stuff like that, and still getting time to practice. That is a big thing, because I mean, that's another thing that colleges look at too, is your grades. It's a lot easier to get into a school on their bowling team when you have good grades, and so I think that's a big part of it, is just managing your classwork and then managing your practice time as well, managing family time, stuff like that. That's big. So
family time also comes with bowling, because you guys are always traveling, going to tournaments. Your younger brother bowls as well, Trey, and normally your mom and dad travel with you guys and go all over the country. Sure. So how big of a support system are they for you, and how do they help you at tournaments? And sometimes do you get frustrated and wish you were alone bowling an event?
I mean, obviously I couldn't do it without them, right? It's everything. Family's everything. Yeah. So I wouldn't be here without them. I wouldn't have the opportunities that I've had without them. Bowling at tournaments is the biggest support. Little brother too, helps a lot. So even if it is sometimes like, I'm frustrated, but it at the end of the day, it's, I mean, what else do you have? So
no, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so looking forward into the future, team trials and on, what is a goal you have for team trials, and then what is your ultimate goal of where you want to get to, not only in bowling but also in possibly a career or in college? Have you thought ahead that far?
So, I mean, starting with team trials, I just want to have fun. That's my big thing. If I have fun, use it as a learning experience, I think I could probably do something. I don't know, just put it out on the lanes, have fun. If it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If not, I can say that I gave it my best, and that's really my goal. If my best isn't enough, then I have stuff to work on. I mean, I always have stuff to work on. That's a big thing, right? Yeah. But I think just laying that out there. 2 years ago, like sophomore year, freshman, sophomore, maybe early junior year, I didn't want to go to college. I thought I was going to do probably a trade school, welding, maybe be an electrician, stuff like that. So I thought I wasn't going to go to college, and bowling has kind of opened that opportunity to go to college, to pursue I think I'm going to do business, something like that, where before I thought it's just not for me. So it's definitely opened a new window that I thought a year and a half ago, 2 years, wasn't possible. Yeah. So I think that's big. As far as career-wise, I don't know if bowling's a career for me. I think the second it becomes work, it becomes no fun. So I think if I can keep it fun, not depend on it for my living, my food, stuff like that. That's really what I look forward to.
I think you have a pretty healthy mindset there. I've struggled with, when I go bowl with my family, I'm still thinking of it as practice. I'm still working on physical game things, and it takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
I got into bowling with going to my dad late Friday nights and staying until 1 in the morning, and with the disco lights. And that's the sport of bowling and bowling for fun are two different things.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think it's really hard for people to understand what the actual sport is and what professional competition looks like versus what recreational bowling is.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if you can go far with just having fun.
Absolutely.
You can be competitive and still have fun. I mean, at the end of the day, you're bowling with your friends, and you're in a bowling alley for, I don't know, all day. You're all day at qualifying. So if you're not having fun, then you're just wasting your day. So I think that's big.
One thing Darren Tang said in one of his vlogs, and I believe it was at the U.S. Open it was at Team Trials this past year, so almost exactly a year ago, where he led the field, ended up winning Team Trials. He said in one of his vlogs that he's just happy to be here. And I think that it loosened his body up, it loosened his mind up, it let him get comfortable, and that's really what allowed him to thrive. Yeah,
for sure. And you think about the opportunities that you have that maybe some other people might not be as fortunate. So to be there, give it your all, but don't be ungrateful. Don't be I don't know. Bring other people up around you. You don't want to bowl on the pair with the dude who's throwing a pissy fit the whole time. So
absolutely,
I think that's big.
How funny is it to watch when bowlers are frying out, and especially in youth bowling when you have 8-year-olds and throwing temper tantrums because they got second and things like that.
It's hard to watch, but I feel for them because I've been there too. So I
think we all have.
It's hard to watch, but at the same time you kind of feel for them, and it's a big mental thing. So kids are young. It's hard. I think I feel for more when kids do it. When adults do it, it's just embarrassing. So there's a big difference there.
How do you feel about youth bowlers being allowed to bowl adult competition? I know that's been a big point of confrontation in the last 2 years, with some adults being upset that youth bowlers are allowed to bowl. And what is your stance on that?
I think if you're an adult bowler and you're upset that a youth is bowling your tournament, then you got your priorities in the wrong order there. I think you should be supporting youth bowlers that are bowling adult tournaments, because I mean that's awesome. Say you're 40 and this kid's a bowling tournament 16. You got so many more years experience of bowling on him. And the fact that he's giving it a shot is just that's big. And I think adult bowlers should be supporting that instead of trying to push it away. I think if you're trying to push it away, it's just why?
It's bad for the sport. What's good for the sport is everyone bowling absolutely everything they can.
For sure.
Finding tournaments. Why I created this website in the first place, to help youth and adult bowlers find tournaments. Little plug there. Go to bowl.central.org. Find yourself a tournament to bowl. Also got some coaching resources from Ballards Bowling Academy and Shannon O'Keefe on there as well. So
another careless plug.
Yeah, just a little bit shameless.
Just something like that.
All right. Well, good luck at Team Trials. I'll see you on the lanes.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully we'll have some fun.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Cool.